Hey, welcome to the How to Podcast series. This is Dave, and we're here talking about the question of the month, which I wanted to remind you. It's August, it's the middle of August, it's like the 17th of August, and we have the question of the month. Some of you have responded, many of you haven't. So I wanted to jump on and just remind you that the whole idea of the question of the month is that you get to promote your show here on the How to Podcast series. Now that should be enough to entice you to participate in the question of the month, right? You come on, you tell us about your show, you share your show in front of the whole How to Podcast family, and invite people to come listen to your show. If you've ever asked, how do I grow my show, Dave? Maybe by telling people about it would probably be helpful. So, use this opportunity here on the How to Podcast series to promote your show. What do you think? Good idea? So the question of the month for August is, because of a podcast, blank. Something's happened, whether it's your podcast, someone else's podcast, something has happened because of a podcast. I've had people come on my show and share amazing stories about their podcast and what it's done for them, or a show they've listened to which gave them hope. Something. They've met someone famous. They've made money from their show. They've made a new connection, a new opportunity. They got a job. Something happened because of a podcast, whether it's your show or someone else's. But there's a story behind it, and I want to share that story. And I want you to come on and share your story as you fill in the blank. Because of a podcast, something happened. And I want to know what that something is. And so does the audience here on the How to Podcast series. So I'm inviting as many people as possible. I know it's August. And here in Canada, our kids are going back to school in September. I know there's things going on. We're all busy. We're trying to cram as much as we can into our summer holidays here in Canada before our kids go off to school. But if you can take a few moments and just respond on the howtopodcast.ca website, click the SpeakPipe link, and leave your voice message. You're going to tell me your name, because I want to know who it is, who's calling in. Tell me the name of your show, your podcast, what it is, what is it, what's it about. Tell us about your show, and then answer the question of the month for August, which is, because of a podcast, blank. Something happened. And I want to hear what that something is. And I want to share your podcast with the world. What happens, Dave? I'm going to compile all of these answers into one episode, release it at the end of August, and I put links to everyone who responds. I'll put a link for your podcast so that everyone can go and follow you and listen to your show. So that's the whole idea. The question is important. Your answer is important. But what's the most important thing? Is that people will come and listen to your show because you answer the question of the month. That's the whole idea for this. And the only way this is going to be successful is if you respond. I see you listening to these shows. I see where you're listening around the world. And all I'm asking for you to do is just respond and say, hi, Dave, this is so-and-so from the so-and-so podcast. And my answer to the question of the month for August is, because of a podcast, I made $1 million. I don't know. Whatever the answer is, I got to meet my favorite musician. I got to meet my favorite author. I got to speak on a stage. I got a new job. I met my partner. Something happened. Something's got to happen because of a podcast. And I want to hear your answer to this question of the month. I want to hear it. And so does the audience. So, What are you going to do? You're going to go to howtopodcast.ca, click the SpeakPipe link, and record your message. Your name, the name of your show, and the answer to the question of the month for August, because of a podcast, blank. Send it in, and then we'll compile all the answers together and feature you at the end of August with your response to the question of the month. Can you please do this for me? Come on. Pinky promise? Okay. I'd love to hear your response, and I'd love to hear your voice on this show so we can celebrate you. Happy August, everyone. Looking forward to connecting with you soon. And as always, if you're interested and you want some time with me and my calendar to ask me any podcast-related question, I'd love to help you. If you need help tuning your guitar, I can help you with that. I can help you with that, no problem. Howtopodcast.ca. Thanks for listening. Happy August, everyone. Looking forward to your response to the question of the month because of a podcast. Blank. Thanks for listening. Take care.